John Hersey was one of the most famous journalists of the 20th century. He was born in 1914, died in 1993, and he was the son of missionary parents, and he was born in China. He graduated from Yale and became a correspondent in the Far East for Time magazine. And during World War II, he wrote for Life magazine and the New Yorker. He accompanied the U.S. Army in the invasion of Sicily and Italy, and he used some of the information for his novel A Bell from Adano, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 1945. He covered the Pacific, so what happened is that the liberation of Europe happened, and many of the reporters and troops went to the Asian um, um, theater. His articles included one which talked about the heroism of John F. Kennedy, PT 109, when it was sunk near the Solomon Islands and became part of the legend of JFK. His original intent when he looked at writing a story about Hiroshima was to see what he, go find out, see what he could see, and base it on interviews. And in Tokyo, he met Father Wilhelm Kleinsorge, who is the German priest in the book. And from this encounter, Hersey soon added 5 more survivors by interviewing people that Kleinsorge knew, as well as by screening many other Japanese survivors. And Hiroshima was published in its entirety in the New Yorker on August 31st, 1946, and it actually was the entire magazine. And then later became a book, which will be the basis for this week's readings. Um, you know, Generally considered one of the finest, if not the finest, piece of journalism in the 20th century. After that, in the 1950s and 60s, Hershey essentially looked at, he turned his efforts to education, racism, and the disenchantment of the 1960s students. And in 1963 wrote a series of articles, Here to Stay, about people who had survived natural disasters, building on the theme of people who had survived a nuclear disaster, looked at natural disasters. In the 1980s, he visited Chinese sites that he had not seen since the end of World War II. China had closed itself off from the rest of the world under communism, and he was able to go back to places where he had been a child and had worked at as a reporter. And in 1985, he wrote a personal novel, The Call, and a new edition of Hiroshima with an epilogue on the 40th anniversary of the bombing. He used this book to look back at what had happened in the 40 years in between the time, and had looked at the various characters. So, great journalist, great author, and Hiroshima being one of the best works of journalism in the 20th century. What's important here too is that it looks from a perspective of the individuals involved who had survived Hiroshima. It didn't go into fairness, balance, objectivity. It took a point of view, and one that I think is one that we can learn from. He died in 1993 at the age of 78. And that's what we have for today, John Hersey and Hiroshima and his background. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you online.